Konbanwa. Good evening. Welcome to Tuesday evening. Good to be with you again on this fine and lovely day. It's been beautiful outside, hasn't it? Today, it's been absolutely lovely, and hopefully you're well and safe, and your families are too. And we're still continuing with karate in our own dojos. I really hope you are. That's my biggest thing that I want, and to keep you training. Hence why I do this in my kitchen twice a week. I'm constantly thinking up of ideas, of ways we can connect. I've got a laptop coming, hopefully this time this week. Just give me a few years to work out how to use it, so there may be the possibility of some Zoom sessions soon. But at this present moment in time, the update is that karate in dojos is not going to happen for some period of time to our knowledge. I've seen a couple of things to say that elite sport can begin again, which it can. Karate, an element of it is considered as elite sport, so that would have been the athletes that were training for the 2020 Olympics, which obviously now cancelled. But it doesn't mean grassroots karate. Karate in dojos is still not permissible or possible. Because we use school halls, as all of our dojos actually are all in school halls. Schools currently not being back means we can't come back either. So for the foreseeable future, this is how the way it's going to be. It's going to be online as our way of connecting. I'm sorry about that, but that is the hard reality that we're with at the moment. So we continue as we are. I'm still looking for ideas and suggestions. I haven't done anything really high grade in these sessions because I'm conscious that I would like to try and enable everybody to join in. But if people want to see a senior kata or do a different move or technique or something, then I'm happy to do that. I'm very much guided by you. Otherwise, it's just me choosing this every week. So tonight we're doing Heian Yondan, for instance, as a kata, because we've done Shodan and Nidan and Sandan. So we're going to do Yondan. And then on Thursday I'm going to do Heian Godan. So these are my two favourite Heian katas. Yondan used to be my favourite, you'll find out why it isn't anymore, and Godan is definitely my favourite now. So we're going to continue the way we are. I've been looking for outdoor spaces so that the eventuality that we can maybe get together and do some social distance karate outside, which I think is potentially just a few weeks away. We could train in trainers, wear our dogis as per normal, but our friends in Essen in Belgium, they did that just last weekend, and it looked really, really good. But we need to find a relatively private space. Having a public space right in the middle of a main road is not going to be helpful. Having a playground, that if that becomes again a normal thing that we can use, again not a great space really, because interruptions and other dangers that may be around there. So any ideas, please come to me with those, and I listen to all suggestions. I might just send you a message saying no, can't do that, but I'm contemplating all sorts of things. I found a great private place for me to train, but it's not a place for anybody else to come with me, maybe one or two other people, and I'm very fortunate to have that within a cycle distance of my house. So anyway, that's our plan. Enough waffling, let's get the lesson going. So tonight we're going to do Kata Heian Yondan. Quickly say hello to a few people, do a quick warm up and then get cracking. Good evening Saren Sensei, good evening Tin Sensei, good evening Carl Sensei, good evening Magdalena, good evening Ken Sensei. Lots of senseis, this is a good thing, isn't it? Thanks for sticking with me everybody. Good evening Isaac, mate, hope you're well. Good evening Wayne, and good evening Thomas-san, good evening Rail Sensei from Belgium. I was very jealous of seeing your photos the other day, Rail, with you all training together. Good evening Harry, and good evening Bron, good evening Dylan, good evening Roebuck family, good evening Rob, good, thank you so much for joining. Andy, good evening Mr. Bardry, how are you? I hope you and Lewis and the family are very well. So we're going to go through Heian Yondan tonight. Difficult because of space, but I'm going to break it down like I did the previous katas that I taught, and you can refer to our YouTube channel if you want to watch the whole kata through and start to put it together if you don't know the kata just yet. I'm on a very sticky floor. Yes, my lovely kitchen floor is freezing normally, and today it's really hot and I'm just stuck to it at the moment. so which is a bit of a pain. But we'll see how we can get on. Us, Christine, good evening. So we will continue with the lesson as normal. I suspect we'll be finished no later than 8:10 this evening, maybe a bit earlier, see how we get on with the kata. Okay, so right, us. Okay, so still doing standing bow at the moment, please forgive me, but my back is almost spot on. But I'm just going to give it another week before I start to do that type of thing. Okay, so right, us, hey oi. And just relaxing these arms. Remember, all of our tension is generally carried in these, our shoulders, our kata in Japanese, and we just need to be mindful of this. So we need to just relax those first of all. So ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shish, hach, ko, and ju, and back ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shish, hach, ko, ju. Okay, then ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shish, hach, ko, ju, and back ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shish, hach, ko, ju. Okay, arms up. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shish, hach, ko, ju. Okay, arms up. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shish, hach, ko, and ju. Okay, left arm forwards. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Right arm. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. And back. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Okay, left arm forwards, right arm back. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. And change. So right arm forwards, left arm back. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Okay, and arms out, just stretching. Okay, wrists up and down. Elbows, just relax the whole of the arm. Okay, learning how to control the body is a really important part of karate. Okay, just rotating, let the arms just drop. So your torso, your hips are creating momentum to enable your arms just to flop. Relax. Okay, just twisting round. I'm hoping that the warmer I get, the better this floor will get and the more I'll be able to slide. But at the moment I'm stuck, so I'm not going to be able to teach what I want to teach. The bit that I need to slide is the very beginning, and that's no good, is it? Only at the end of the kata when I'm warmed up and I'm sliding around. But hey, we will try to do our best. Okay, just bringing the right leg up. Okay, kicking on spot 10 times. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shish, hach, ko, and ju. And now the left side. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shish, hach, ko, and ju. Okay, taking the right knee up, holding it and bringing it into the chest nice and high. Try to get it higher. Relax, don't force anything, just relax the leg. Okay, rotating your ankle both ways. Ooh, check your balance, says me. Foot backwards and forwards. Wiggle your sumisakis. That's the tips of your toes. And down. Okay, again, take the left leg up. Again, bring it high. Don't force the leg by dragging it up with the arms. Just let it come up naturally so you're not tensing too much. Okay. Okay, again, so just relax the ankle. Just waving it around. You forgive me if mine doesn't look like it's moving much, but I have metal race plates and rods and all sorts of things that stop it from doing a great deal of movement that way, I'm afraid. Your sumisakis, if you can move your toes. Again, I've broken mine too many times, so they don't move. Okay, it's round. It's a bit of an injury story in my life in karate, if I'm honest. Those that know me well know that's true. Okay, just those hips round, nice and relaxed. Okay, just bouncing. Again, just let the body relax. Forwards and backwards. Sideways and sideways. So let your body just drop. Okay, change. Bouncing up and down. And relax, shake off. Okay, so I think we'll be warm enough. It's a pretty warm evening anyway. Okay, so just straighten the gi in your obi, your suit and your belt. Okay, hey, Kyotsuke. So heels together, toes pointing out, hands both sides. This is Masubarachi, so we'll do standing bow to start. And ready, us. Hey, yoi. Okay, so just to warm up the upper body before we start the kata, thinking about these in particular, the shoulders. Okay, we're going to do a range of techniques this evening. Most important thing to remember about Heian Yondan is this is probably out of the Heian katas the kicking kata. Okay, you're going to do a range of different kicks, and there are six in total. Okay, and so therefore the lower part of the body is going to be used. Be mindful of where you are, your space that you're surrounded by. I'm in a kitchen, not too wide, not too long. You've got to be careful. So we're going to have to twist and shape this how we can to fit it in to demonstrate each technique. So what you're going to see is elements of the kata, but not, I can't do the whole thing in the kitchen here because we are not going to have enough space. But what I'll do is I'll demonstrate each wave and then show you how it connects to the next, if that makes sense. I'm going to call them phases rather than waves. People talk about waves in a bad way at the moment, don't they? One wave, second wave, and all that stuff. So we're going to use a different sort of format. So we're going to call it phase 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. Okay, so just warming the arms up, punching chokazuki. Okay, so remember, drop the shoulders, tuck the elbow in. Okay, squeeze here. Make sure the elbow is dragging the side of the body here, and punch into the centre of the body along your embusun, your performance line. Okay, so just 10 punches, nice and slow. Keep it slow this evening, please. It's very, very hot. I don't know what temperature it is in your kitchen or dojo, but it's warm in mine, and we're only just starting. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sij, hach, ku, ju, juich, juni, jisan, jishi, jugo, jurok, jisich, jahach, juku, niju. Okay, hey, relax. Hey, a little bit faster, Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, ju, juich, juni, jusan, jushi, jugo, jurok, jusich, jahach, juku, niju. Hey, and breathe. And out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And ready. Okay, so hopefully you're warming up now, starting to get ready. Let's see if we've got anybody who I've missed off. Right, so Christine I've said hello to. Good evening, Edwards Clan, us, I hope you're well. Ollie and Lucy, hope you're doing very well. Good evening, Michaela and Betsy, us. Christine's come up twice, that's nice, Christine, thank you. Okay, listen, if I miss anybody off, I do apologise. I'm wearing my contact lenses, which is not great for reading, so I do miss the occasional ones, and I always feel bad at the end of the lesson when I go back through the comments or people saying hi, and I'm like, oh no, I missed that person off. So, sincerely apologise if I ever do that. Okay, so Heian Yondan. We'll do the beginning. Okay, so the first two moves are very similar, in fact they mirror each other. So we're going to do that to start, okay? And then we will move on into different phases of the kata. I hope that makes sense. For the higher grades, this sort of builds a timing count, stroke bunkai count. Good evening, Kayla. But I don't know whether it's not perfect, but I'm trying to break it down so that people can at least learn this at home. That's my Daniel-san. Good evening, Daniel-san. Daniel-san has joined us. Good boy. Okay, right, us. Okay, so as per all of the other katas, Yondan, Sandan, Nidan, Godan makes no difference. Okay, the way we start a kata is really important. Now, with the Heians, it's a very simple bow, yoi, etc. The way that we do it within our organisation with Asahi Shotokan and Sky International is heels together, bow first, come up into yoi, and then state your kata. Heian Yondan. Okay, and then you are ready to begin. Okay, Again, if you had another yoi position after that, for instance, if you were studying Teki Shodan, then you would do exactly the same format. You would bow, you come to the first yoi position, this is our natural stance, okay, Shizentai, okay. We are then just saying our kata nice and loud, and then we go into our formal yoi position, ready thereafter to go. Different organisations do it different ways. The key thing is to remember that you don't say your kata to your chest as you're bowing. Heian Yondan. Yep, not very good. So you say your kata out there. Okay, it's a battle cry ultimately. Okay, so remember I said 6 kicks. Please be mindful of where you are in your dojo and be careful with the kicks. I would say they're quite advanced actually in terms of the context of the way that they work with the other techniques. Okay, the kicks themselves you'll have done before, but they are complicated, I think, with the other techniques the way they are. And you will need more room than you can imagine with this kata. Okay, no good starting here. So literally with me touching these back units, when I finish the kata, I will be in my alleyway at the other side of my house. Okay, you generally end up about 1 metre to 1.5 metres behind where you start. So on this kata, this is where I would normally start in the lesson here for when I'm teaching kata to give me enough room. Okay, I need to ensure that I'm much closer because we're going to go backwards. It's not an issue for me this evening, it shouldn't be an issue for you because we're going to stop and start. But it's mindful of when we're training. We have a great story about one of our black belts and that, and Sensei Ian will be able to tell you that. Okay. Heian Yondan. Okay, so first things first then, we look. Okay, this is the key thing with all kata. We look first, open your hands. And you just open your hands into, as if they were shuto. Okay, so from here, just open your hands. Now you'll see different videos on YouTube, and be very careful what you watch on YouTube, because there is so much variation between different styles, even with their own organisations, individual instructors. So there'll be variation within our own clubs. So you do as you're told by the sensei that's teaching you, and you try to learn it your way in terms of within the framework of what it looks like. So this one here, don't throw your arms to the side. What you're going to do is I'm not going to be able to slide, I'm too sticky. But what we're going to do is we would naturally look, open the hands, and then this foot just slides out. Slides, this you can see it's not sliding, it's just sticking. And we're going to land to back start. So our arms stay where they are. Now, that looks like I've moved them behind. But if I actually move them, they go like this, and this is wrong. Okay, so the arms stay where they are. So, your position here, bow, Heian Yondan. Look, open the hands, and come out to the left here. Okay? Now, I would normally just drop down and slide that foot out, but I can't do that at the moment. I'm hoping that as we warm up, or as I warm up, that I'll be able to slide on this floor, but at the moment I'm just literally stuck to, it's like being velcroed. It's quite good, I'm not going to slip anywhere, that's for sure. Okay, so Heian Yondan. So here, looking, open the hands, and into Kukutsu Dachi. So the hands stay where they were, and you're sitting down on this back leg, okay? Back stance Kukutsu Dachi. Now I'm shortening my stance ever so slightly, and that's just purely so we can fit in camera frame and my kitchen. So we're looking where we're going, and we're doing a double block that looks not dissimilar to Heian Nidan, which we did a couple of weeks ago. Heian Nidan position here. So this elbow here, we're looking at a right angle of 90 degrees. Okay, and here we're also looking at an angle of 90 degrees. And we're using open palm. So I'm going to come a bit closer so that you can hopefully see this in the way that the arms look. So once more, I may go out shot, so I'm going to try and do this, line this up so I can fit it in and fit myself and you see it, hopefully. So you looking, open the hands, I'm going to have to step, which I hate doing now because I like to slide, and the hands come up. And you're looking between the hands, the same as Heian Nidan, exactly the same as Heian Nidan. I'm just checking on the camera to see if you can see both hands, and you can't, so I'm going to come back ever so slightly. Okay, so you can see this here and this here. Hopefully that's going to make sense to you. So you're looking at this kind of like a square. So this is one arm of the square, the top part of the square. This drops down, okay? And then we've got across the shoulder line. That's why your shoulders can't be up, they need to be down here. This is correct. Then these hands just drop. and we shift the other way, so the back stance the other way, and then we come up the opposite side in exactly the same way. So again, Heishu, which is back of the hand, Heishu, you could say this is Maroto Heishuoki. Some people say it's Heian, both arms. Okay, different variations in terms of the terminology for this perspective. So back to the start again. Okay, so Ray, I'm just going to step back, see if this makes it easy for us to fit it in. Heian Yondan. Look in, open the hands, move the leg. Clonk. Just not able to. Okay, then drop the hands, shift the weight, and here. I'm just going to let my lovely little puppy in. Honey-san, come in. Hello, what are you doing? What? You don't know what to do you? Oh, what's the matter? You can see Ellie, go see Ellie. Oops. Yes, I know, all the love hearts come up on the screen as soon as Holly turns up. Isn't that always the way? Okay, so it's a real life kitchen. I'm amazed we haven't had any pancake sticks this evening, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so once more, I'm hoping I'm within camera frame here, so I'm just kind of coming to here. So looking, open the hands, still can't slide, just stick in here. Drop the hand, shift the weight, and come up the other way. Heian Yondan. Okay. I don't know why I keep apologising for stepping. Lots of actual organisations do step. They don't slide their feet out. But that's not the way that I do it anymore. So I like to drop and slide the foot out into the position. I've become quite good at it, but I can't do it here. I'm just slippery sliding around. Okay, so that's the first two moves. So we're going to call that phase one, and the reason being is that they are pretty much standalone techniques. Okay. So what it looks from the side angle here, if we look, is the hands come up. Now, unlike Heian Yondan, which are automatically like within a second, Yondan you're looking at a count of about 3 seconds. Okay, so the hands are open and they come up much more deliberate. They drop, shift the weight, and come up the other side. And that is deliberate. So the start of the kata is slow. Okay, and you're going to notice that with all the Shotokan katas, all 26, there is variation in terms of there are super fast bits within kata and really slow bits that emphasise technique, etc. And quite often people will say, well, how would that work in the real world, just blocking that slow? In the real world you wouldn't block that slow, it's for the kata, okay? So you have to understand the kata to understand that, I guess. I won't go into that now. So we're going to continue then from those two techniques, okay? So, Heian Yondan, looking, open the hands, ready to shift the weight down, so just let the leg drop down and the foot comes out. This isn't going to slide, so we're just going to step. Drop the hand, shift the weight, change to the right. Okay, so this position here then, so we're looking straight ahead now. The right hand just comes on top and we make a fist and we come down here to the centre. So if you think of this hand, the lower hand, the left hand, think of that as a gidambarai here, because that's exactly what it is. Okay, and this hand, think of a punch. Okay, and then connect them. And then what you've got is a technique called jujuoki. Okay, jujuoki is X block. So that's what we're trying to do. But think more of what we're going from here, from this position here. Think of a gidambarai. Yeah, think of a gidambarai. So imagine maybe, and this is just one analogy, gidambarai, yeah, break the leg. That's what I would think. So that's what I would do. Isn't it good when one of your karate students messages you through Messenger whilst you're doing a live session telling you that they've bought a new car just to make you jealous? I think that's unfair. You should be training, Jonathan. Okay, so from here, okay, so we drop the hands here, come into the stance, shift the weight to here, look to the front, Jujuoki, front stance in Kutsudachi, okay, so make sure this is natural stance, a Gidambarai type feeling from here, Gidambarai with a punch. Come through, augmented block, a Marotoki, augmented, assisted, joined, connected, you can come up with different analogies yourselves, okay, but using the base of the small finger and knuckle, okay, fifth metacarpal for those that know, in here, right near the base of the ulna, and this makes this super strong as a block. We've already used this in the katas previously, Heian Nidan, Heian Sandan, okay, so you're hopefully well used to using this. Hope that makes sense, and we're connecting that. So from this position here, we'll go back to this position, X block here, okay, and come through Marotoki, here. So think of it as a supported uchiuki, which is going to hopefully supported means stronger. Okay. In Shotokan, we always try to make techniques as strong as they possibly can be. So the way that we position our arms and hands and feet and legs and our bones in particular, it's an understanding of the bones to make technique stronger. Why hit with one bone in the arm when you have two? So if you use the two together, you're using more. You're stronger. Yes? Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Your leg consists of two bones the same. So here we've got the radius and the ulna. Okay, and here we've got the tibia and the fibula. Why use one bone when you have two to use? So it's again about understanding the connection between the body, the tissue that holds it together, the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles, the bones, everything together. And Shotokan really uses that massively to its advantage. And I think a lot of people miss that. They miss that point. Working with Akita Sensei over the years that we've known each other, I've got a really good understanding of bone connection. Okay, physically, physiology-wise, I had a good connection before, but wasn't using it as good as I could in karate. Small things make a big change. Okay, so from the beginning, we then hopefully are going to move into the next stage of the kata. So this will be phase 1, Heian Yondan. Phase 1. Phase 2, here, okay, and then we continue with phase 2. So phase 2 continued. I'm going to have to move because I'm going to kick sideways. So from this Marotoki position here, I'm going to break this down to help people, okay, and we're going to kick Yokogeri Kiagi, side snap kick. So we draw the back leg up so the feet come together. Now again, don't force your knees down, okay, just relax. Let gravity take its place in the world and just let your body naturally drop. Okay, so from this Marotoki position here to here. Now I'm going to show this a little bit closer. This is called Koshi Kamai. Koshi Kamai, pronunciation might be incorrect. Koshi hip, and the ball of the foot, but Koshi hip, Koshi Kamai. Kamai means position, hip position. So this hand sits on the hip, this one sits on top. Being English, we like to think of it as cup and saucer. Okay, the cup sits on top of the saucer. I think it was Sensei George that taught me that. So best thing, I've never forgotten it. So here, yeah, and then we're going to do a back fist, a Yurakunuchi. So we did this, if you remember, a few weeks ago, both in our Kumite and our Kion as well. So from this position here, Koshi Kamai, High Sukudachi, so feet together stance. And the fist, you've just got to let this go. So it comes from the hip and then connects here. So your Kime point is here. Kime point is here as it hits. Okay? this position here. Don't tense through. Don't tense through because your shoulder comes up and you will lose your form. Okay? Just at the ends. Just at the ends. Like so. Okay, and at the same time, Yokogeri Kiyagi. Yokogeri Kiyagi. So again, your ability will be determined by a lot of things: physical, health, injuries, etc., 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 age. But do as good as you can. So I'm going to do a sort of medium height kick. But when I was younger, my kicks used to be ridiculously high. Not at all practical, but they were cool. So I like to do a technique that is similar to my my own height, if that makes sense. Probably not, but I'm going to keep waffling otherwise. So we're doing a Yurakin Kyagi, and then a Mawashi and Puchi here. So I'm going to do that towards the camera from this angle. So Koshi Kamai stays the same, so this hip position here. Feet together, remember let gravity do its little thing. Okay? Remember the back fist. And as we back fist, we're going to kick Hyagi. So these come out together. So they're attached. Yes, that's correct. They're attached. So not here and kick, and not kick and here together. I think simultaneous in Japanese is ayuch, but I might not be right. I was taught that years and years ago. So, but I believe that's what it means together. I'm sure somebody will tell me otherwise. So bring it up here as the kick comes out here. And in Mawashi and Puchi, and your hips come from hanmi to square on as they should. Okay, so imagine you've got an opponent. They're striking with an oizuki, so stepping towards you with a punch. Okay, this Yurakin actually can act as a block, and so punches don't need to be just punches for attack. They can be blocks. So you can use your back fist as your Kyagi Geri here. Okay, kick him into the stomach. As the head comes down, you then grab the back of the head, Mawashi and Puchi. That's a very basic Donkai, but it works. It's effective. So, Kyagi Yurakin. We've already done this again. If you remember, we did this in Heian Nidan. Okay, but here we're using the Mawashi and Puchi as an additional technique. So, key thing is to get the form and the balance. The body weight just drop down. Kick here, balance, and here. So Koshi Kamai position here, hip position, okay, and then looking towards your target, making sure that you've got room to kick to the side, okay. Again, your kick doesn't need to be too high, you can kick lower, that's fine, okay. Again, it really does depend on you as a person. I'm reasonably warmed up now, so I'm actually feeling quite good. So go where you're comfortable. Yeah, when I had my 3 knee surgeries on my knee a few years ago, I couldn't kick on that side at all because I couldn't put the weight on this leg. So I used to just step. And that's okay, that's adapting, evolving Shotokan karate to meet you, your needs as an individual. So it can be for anybody, and I've taught a person with only one leg. They obviously couldn't kick with a standing leg, so we had to imagine that we were kicking with the other leg. So I think it can be done regardless of who you are and your ability, etc. There are no barriers in karate, I do believe. That's my first philosophy. So we're looking, kicking together, bang, Mawashi and Puchi. Then we draw up the other side, exactly the same technique as again before. Yurakin here, Kyagi Geri here, and again Mawashi and Puchi. Okay, so that's probably the next phase. So I would say that is going to be phase 2 completed there. So phase 1 will be the first 2 techniques here, and then phase 2 will be the Jujuki, the Morotuki, and then the 2 Kyagis. Now different sensei teach this different ways, okay, and we have to always be respectful and mindful of how everybody teaches. But when we do this, okay, from this position here, we draw up, we go straight in, kick, we come straight up, kick. We don't hang around, if that makes sense. So we're not pausing at that point. So we're not coming here and looking and then kicking and looking and then kicking. The motion stays steady. Okay, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. I think the problem is that senseis teach, start, stop because it's the easy way for us to learn. I mean, that's the way I learned. But actually, when we're doing it, it needs to flow. Kata needs to flow. There are elements where we stop, definitely, and almost take a pause. But that's not in this case. That's not in this. This is not correct. This is this case. Pause. This is correct. Pause. And then it should be 1, 2, 3. Here, come up, 4. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to try and work my brain to see if I can fit that in making it into phase 1, phase 2. So please bear with me as I attempt to try and do that. Heian Yondan. Phase 1. Phase 2. Okay, so once more. You know, so far I've never kicked that oak table. I'm just getting very close to it with the yaki. So I've just got to be a little bit careful. Heian Yondan. Oh, I am definitely not sticking. I'm not moving slightly, I'm not sliding, so. Phase 1. Phase 2. I hope that makes sense. I'm having to draw my kicks in. I've got long legs. I nearly took the bin out then. I've got to be careful. So I really like this. I really like this kata. As I say, it used to be my favourite Heian kata for years. If ever I did a kata competition, I would always, if I had a choice, to choose this. And always have fingers crossed that it would be chosen for me if it was in the early rounds of a competition. Because I just like kicking. I'm 6'1", so I'm quite tall in comparison to, say, Japanese people who do karate. But not all of them are much smaller than me. But I would say that being tall and lanky can sometimes have huge advantages, but also can be a hindrance at times. We can look a bit gangly, if I'm honest. Certainly when I first started karate, I was about 9 stone and 6'1". I looked like a stick insect, throwing their arms and legs around willy-nilly. There was no power, there was no action, there was nothing great there. So you have to learn to embrace what you've got, regardless of your size, height, ability, etc. And work with it and adapt it. And I promise you, if you do that and you wholeheartedly embrace yourself, you've got to really like yourself, you can become really, really good at karate, regardless of anything. Okay, and nothing should stop you from being good. And don't let people tell you that you're no good. That's for sure. I think that's really poor. I would never do that as an instructor. Okay, so we've got phase 1, phase 2 done there, but we're not even up to the first ki. So let's connect the third phase. Okay, so I will show you from this point. I'll just do this a little bit. Probably going to struggle with room here, but here we go. Heian, let's do this correctly. Heian Yondan. So look in, drop those hands down, slide if you can, but if not, step. Change the weight here. Then 1, 2, pull up here, kick, elbow, pull up, kick, elbow, here. Okay, and that's phase 2 completed from this position here. So from this mawashi, now mawashi is roundhouse elbow, okay, and imagine this hand is drawing your opponent to you. People get this the wrong way around, and they do all sorts with their arms. When I first learned this, it was horrendous, and for months I couldn't get it. Open the hand, so do the back fist, open the hand, bring the left elbow to the hand, and likewise on the other side. So from this position here, in Zen Kutsudachi again, okay, we are now coming with somebody attacking what's in a maigeri maybe, so kicking maigeri, front kick to the suit here, okay, to say my rib cage, stroke side of my body here. So Gidan Shuto, Gidan Shuto, and as I do that, I draw this arm up, okay, like an agiyuki. So elbow here, then here, and I twist them to here. Okay, so this is like an agiyuki, and this is a Jodan Shutouchi. So Shuto, remember, this is this part of the hand here. Okay, so just there. And Shuto here. Now you will probably, as a lower grade, notice Shuto from Shutouki. Okay, but very rarely will you've got this stage with an understanding Shutouchi. You may think it's only a block. It's not, it's very much a strike, and a very good one too. So from the Morshi position here, 1, 2. And we teach that 1, 2, but in the kata, it's a one move. It's a connected move. Okay? Because if someone kicked you, you wouldn't block them and stop there. Oh yeah, they've kicked me. I've blocked them. Now what? You wouldn't be able to attack because they'd already gone. Okay? So connections in the head. Think about how it would work in reality. So from here, 1, 2. 1, 2. And the front stance stays front stance. So we're Zenkutsudachi here, okay, from the Morshi Enpyuchi. And we literally here, still front stance, here, this position, and we just flip the hip, and we are still front stance now facing the front. So distance should be the same. Should be the same. 70-30 weight distribution, but you shouldn't need to change your front leg. Okay, again, variation, different senseis teach it different ways, but my head says that. So from this position here, 1, 2. Okay, we continue then from this position here, Zenkutsudachi. Okay, just let your body weight drop. So imagine now, this is maybe blocking a punch. So I like to think of the person doing this, kicking Maigiri or Izuki, which used to be in Kumite competitions like this kind of everyday technique that people would try to catch you with. A quick Maigiri, and you block that, and then they come in with a Jodan punch. So that's really what I'm thinking of here. So from here, block, block, and strike. Okay? Maybe then the person does something different, or you move on to another opponent. Your next technique is from here, just sit yourself down, bring up the leg and kick Maigiri. Okay, to the stomach. And as you do, you stay on one leg, and you press down Oseki. So you kick Maigiri, press down. This hand then comes up, and we're going to back fist with this hand. So we did a back fist here. This is Yoko, this is more Tati probably. Okay? So again, I show you connected. 1, 2, kick, balance, press. A Yurakunuchi, two knuckles here, back fist. And my stance has shifted. I slide forwards as I kiai. Okay, and I'm changing stance into Kozadachi, which you won't be able to see because it's out of camera frame. So we're going to move back slightly. Okay, so you'll be able to see this transition. So remember, front stance, 1, 2 here. Okay, here, and kick, Maigiri, Osayuki, Yurakunuchi, back fist. Okay, that connects the next phase. So we've done phase 1. Phase 2, okay, phase 2 will be the X block, augmented block, come up, your Rakan Kyagi here, pull up, your Rakan Kyagi here. This is phase 2, and then phase 3, 1, 2, kick, press, yeah! Back fist kiai, back fist kiai. And again, there is a slight variation in terms of senseis teaching this. Some will do back fists from inside the body here, some go right above the back of the head. So they draw the punch right away here, which will probably take too long. So for me, it's very much shoulder height, shoulder here, bang, and here. But again, there is variation. So you know, we must always contemplate, consider that. So again, we're going to take the whole kata now up to the kiai. I may have to shift around a little bit because of room, not wanting to kick anything. So please bear with me as I try to get to the kiai point. Heian Yondan. I'm still trying to slide because my brain says slide and I need to step. Once more. I love live action. Heian Yondan. we stay at the end of phase 3 and the first kiai. So hopefully that's starting to connect in your brain. If you want to watch the video that we put on YouTube, and anybody else is on YouTube or books, etc., you will see pretty much that's what we're doing, and be able to connect this maybe a bit better. Ultimately, what I need is you all in the dojo and me and the other instructors teaching this for 2 hours, and then everybody would learn it. For the higher grades, you know, it doesn't matter what grade you are. You could be a 10th degree black belt. You still have to practice these Heian katas all of the time. These are the very basic building blocks of Shotokan karate. And you must never forget the 5 Heian katas. They're probably the most 5 important katas that we do. And I think that's really, really important. You shouldn't forget any kata. Okay, even the katas that are not part of the 26, the Taikyoku katas, of which there are 6. We don't practice them all the time. Taikyoku Shodan we do, but Taikyoku Nidan and Sandan Yondan Godan Rokudan, we don't practice those, but you know, they're there. They're there in our minds, and we train with them whenever we feel that we need to or want to. I usually do them at courses and things like that. But kata is really important, but the Heian katas are massively important, regardless of who you are and what grade you are. So please always have that in the back of your mind. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next phase, moving back towards this way, the back end of the kata, okay, and the turning past the kata. Now I'm going to have to change the direction in which I'm going here, because this just doesn't work otherwise. So I will try to help you in terms of understanding it, but also perform the kata facing the wrong way towards the end of this lesson, if that's okay. I haven't forgotten that helps a lot of people, but it's more important that we pay attention to the technique that we're doing first of all. Okay, there's no good you seeing me, my arms and legs move unless you know what I'm doing, so you need to see that first of all. I hope that makes sense. And again, feedback is very, very welcome. So we're to that point of kiai. Okay, so if I turn this way, so you can see the cross leg stance, okay, Kozadachi here. We've just done the Uraken here, okay, and we're going to turn, so we turn, pivot onto the balls of the feet, and we're going to bring in our hands like so, and we practiced this the other week, like so, okay, so we've done the kiai here, here, turn. Okay, then again we would slide, but I'm going to have to step because I can't move on this floor. So we're going to come up, punching up, okay, with crossed hands, koza. So crossed hands, punch up here, and then pull down, pull down. Maybe if I do it this way, it would make more sense. So up and pull down, up and pull down. So here, so this is a block, and pull down. Imagine possibly someone going to grab your throat, yeah, your neck here, or here, your lapels, okay, if you're wearing a jacket or a shirt or something, okay, and you are coming from this position here, and break and pull, break and pull, break and pull. So you're grabbing their arms, grabbing them here, changing the emphasis on them, as it were. Again, I need somebody with me. Need somebody with me to demonstrate that, but hopefully you have a good imagination. So we've done the kiai point here, so we turn, come out, kaki waki uki, reverse wedge block, okay, and then from here, kick in maigeri jodan, double punch, and I appreciate that's out of shot, okay, so I'm going to kind of shimmy over here. So we're going to come up here, pull down, kick, maigeri jodan, double punch. Oizuki, gyakuzuki. Okay, and then we were going to repeat on the other side. Now I'm not going to kick here because the bing will go straight through the window. So I'm going to move back a little bit. So kick here, 1, 2. That's what it needs to look like. This is the difficulty with a very narrow space. So quite often I get asked, is this a Chudan kick, Sensei, or a Jodan kick? It should be Jodan. Okay, but variation again, there's always variation, isn't there? We've talked about this before. But if you think, if you're in a nice back stance, okay, you've done your kaki wakuki, you've pulled down, that's my chin height. That is my Jodan. So that is my target. Here, 1, 2. Likewise, once we come here, yeah, if I'm down, if I let the gravity take its place, that's my Jodan. 1, 2. I think I'm going out of camera. I'm sorry about this. I hope that makes some sense and answers your question, in particularly the height of the kick. But you're aiming for it to be sort of this height, throat, chin height. Okay. And then the foot you kick with is the hand you land with, and that's the best way to get that connected in your head. It's the same foot and hand that land together. So Maigari Hoizuki, which you would use in Kumite, definitely, and Kyon basics and stuff like that. Okay, so that's done twice. I'd say the only other thing to point out here is once you've done your Kakiwakyuki here, I'm just going to slide back. So kick, once, punch. Again, variation on associations, instructors, etc. Some will say come back to Haisukudachi, feet together stance, hands here to do the other side. Okay. Some instructors you'll have done your kicks, okay, and you just go across. So variation. I tend to teach for juniors back to here and come out, so they get the basic yoi positions and they understand the connection between the two phases, the two techniques. Okay, but for higher grade black belts, I wouldn't expect them to stop halfway. Does that make sense? Okay. So again, I'm going to get up to the point of getting to those two kicks. But the key thing is with Kakiwakyuki is imagine someone coming here. So you're punching up. So you come from here. It's a double punch. Here, come up. Here and pull down. Pull down. Here, lock in those elbows. Don't have your elbows out here because you won't have any stability. If you're going to control somebody, body weight, size, you have to keep this connected. See these? This is part of me. It's not my arms out here. Here, my arms are on their own. They're not part of me. Here, they're connected. Connected to my body, okay? In terms of my whole body, not just connected by joints. This is not so good. This is good. Squeezing the latimus dorsi here, these muscle groups here, gives you great benefit. Here, you can't connect those muscle groups, so you don't have the same power. So if someone does here and you're trying to pull you down, you won't be able to do it. But if you've got the power, the connection, everything works. It doesn't matter on your size, it's about doing it correctly. So, let's see how far we can get before I kick something. Heian Yondan. Okay, so we're up to this position here then, okay, and our next few moves, augmented block, Marotoki and back stance. Okay, so we've landed here, if I now change the direction, Marotoki 1, and then we do 2, and then we go to a third technique. So I'll stay back further this time so I can make this work better. So 1, 2, 3. You can see that I'm making room, I'm making distance on this. These are 3 long techniques, and hopefully you can then see where this kata changes from all of the other katas, and that is that where you start is not where you end up. You always end up about a metre behind, or you should. You should. If you're able to start and finish in the same spot, there's something going wrong there, so something needs to be looked at. And we're still not at the end. We're still not at the end of the kata. So let me go through the phases again, just ever so quickly, and then I'll put the end bit on and we'll see that and how it looks. I can almost do the whole kata here, but not quite, unfortunately. Okay, so Heian Yondan. So this is phase 1. Shift the body weight. Phase 1. Phase 2 is the X block, followed by the augmented block, followed by the back fist and kicks and the roundhouse elbows. Phase 3, to here, kick, press, kia, Uraken, ki. Phase 3, turn. Phase 4 is the block, kick, double punch. I brought the feet back there together to show the lower grades. Phase 4. So phase 4, if I come back to the camera, augmented block 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'm going to flip this around. This is the third one. So augmented block Kukutsudachi, back stance. Okay, from here. And all you need to do is just shift the hip. So you here in back stance, you just shift the hip. Too many people move their front foot all the way across the. That's not front stance anymore. So it's over exerting yourself, over making the move. I don't know how to say that properly. It doesn't make sense in my head. But from this position here, if I'm thinking here, my person here is attacking here. My enbusun is there. I don't want to shift my feet and my hips much. Just want to be able to engage my hip. Okay, and then imagine that I'm grabbing someone's head. Now I have a lot of hair to get hold of at the moment because I haven't had my hair cut for 10, 11 weeks now. Okay, so you're going to draw the hair or the ears of the person, depending on which they've got most of. Okay, and you draw down. And again, what I said before about kaki waki uki, keeping your elbows in, you draw down here. And as you do, the knee comes down to meet the face, like a little kiss, under the chin, in the throat. Okay, and hizagari, knee kick. Okay, so from this position here, just move the hips slightly. Knee up, and that's your second ki. Turn, shutoki. Okay, in Kukutsudachi, and then step forward, shutoki, and that is the end of the kata, at which point you can hear. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to show you from this position here. Probably going to squeeze this in just about, he says. So Morotoki 1, if I shorten my stances. 2, 3, grab the head, knee up, shuto, shuto, and yame. Awesome. So hopefully that is connecting the kata from different pieces and different bits. So I'm going to do it once more for you. Okay, and hopefully you can think, then I'll turn round and we'll do it the other way. Okay, and I'll tell you where each phase begins and ends, so you're able to connect those phases. Okay, when you're looking at other things, maybe on YouTube or maybe hopefully our own channel, and looking at our Heian Yondans, they were done deliberately, slowly, so you can follow, pause, and continue. Not done anything at full speed, because the whole point of putting them out there is to help teach people while we're not in the dojos. I hope they are helping. Everything I do is to enable you to continue your training. It is for my benefit because it's training, and I just love training, and I'm always getting better the more I train. But I'm hoping it's enabling you to engage with karate whilst you're not able to engage with karate other than 2 times in your own living room or kitchen twice a week. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so once more. Heian Yondan. So phase 1, phase 2 beginning now. Make sure this is all connected. I'm doing it slow speed so you can follow. Phase 3. Phase 4. Phase 4, hold it there, making more room now. Phase 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's phase 5, that last bit there, going from the Morotoki, grab the head, knee up, shuto, shuto. So again, hopefully you understand, I'm breaking it into 5 phases. Majority of the Heian katas, when I teach them like this, I make 4 or 5 phases, and I'm I'm only doing that really to help you understand the kata and be able to do it at home. Some people have told me that helps. I hope it does. That's my plan. You know, when we're doing these katas. Okay, so I'm going to face the other way. So excuse me for the back of my head. And forget the back of my head. Whatever you do, starting to go curly, I think. Okay. Heian Yondan. Us. So I hope that's helping you learn Heian Yondan or revisit it if you've not done it for a while, and get to practice those different techniques. Difficult again, the distance between us all and not being able to sort of show the detail. If I get too close to the camera, you will get scared, I'm sure of it. So I think that, you know, that's difficult to convey what I want to convey over this way or this mechanism, but I hope it's kind of helping, and that's my plan. The key points of this kata are 6 kicks. Okay, so your kicks start with your 2 kiagi geris, then we do a mai geri, okay, before the first kiai, and then we turn kakibaki, we do 2 further mai geris, and then our sixth and final kick is the hizageri, so knee kick hizageri. Okay. And that's really important, so make sure you don't miss that out and you understand that there are 6 kicks as part of that kata. Lots of back stance again, kukutsadachi, lots of zenkutsudachi as well. And primarily they're our 2 stances, aren't they? A little bit high sukudachi as well, as our feet draw together, okay? But actually mainly kukutsu and zenkutsudachi. I hope you can see why it used to be my favourite Heian. I used to be a kicker, so that was my thing. I love kicks, and generally I found them quite easy and I was quite good at them. As I got older, I find kicking much harder. Having had 3 knee surgeries and shattering my legs twice, it doesn't help. so kicks, as you get older, they get lower, as some of my other instructors will tell you. So you have to adapt, and I found another kata that I have a bigger passion for right at this moment in time, and I'm going to hopefully teach that on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, Heian Godan. And that never used to be my favourite at all, probably last. But now I found a new appreciation for it, and the good thing about karate is you can do that. You can have favourite one week and change it the next week, and I really like doing that. Depends how you're feeling, doesn't it? A lot of it. It's very emotive doing kata, very emotional. The connection between the brain and the body. So you have to be in the right place. If you're really having a bad day, there are certain katas you just want to do. Basai Dai is an absolute star. Okay, if you've had a really bad day. If you want to do something that's a little bit more creative, has more flair, and you can really show your artistic side, then something like MP or Gankaku, really good katas for that sort of thing. That's my intention, is to try and help you through these training sessions in the kitchen, to try and help you with your kata. I can't teach you it properly here, I'm sorry, don't have the space, and we don't really have the time, I guess, in terms of that. But this hopefully will help you. If you can train on your own at home, then I think that's really good. Not just with me, but just a little bit of practice every day. That's what I do. I find something, I train and practice. The other morning, I went on a bike ride. I found a perfect private little space I could do some training. So the next day I took my gi and took a rucksack, a couple of bottles of water, and I trained. And it was utterly brilliant. Did it early in the morning, so literally the only thing that was around was the birds and the bees. And it was just a wonderful experience. I felt like I was back in Bali, because that was just a really magical experience. But I got that in my own backyard, you know, literally within half a mile of my house. So you've got to kind of like look where you can do karate. There isn't an excuse to say, oh, dojos are closed, can't do it anymore. You can, you just have to look. You know, so please try to do that sort of thing. Practice safely wherever you go. So if you need to wear shoes, then that's absolutely fine. Yeah, it's not a problem. So you know, hopefully this will help you, encourage you to do that. So the plan for Thursday then is to do Heian Yondan. We have a 50-minute lesson on Thursday, so that might be a stretch, but in which case we can always carry it over onto Tuesday. Please do not forget you have a fantastic opportunity on Saturday to become part of a worldwide class. Okay, so it's going to be on YouTube Live, and Akita Sensei is teaching, and it's going to be 4 PM our time, British summer time. I think it's 5 PM or 1700 hours in Europe. Okay, so we are, I think, are an hour behind them. My understanding is that's the case. There is only one way of getting access, and that's through me. So you need to email me, WhatsApp me, message me, whatever, ping, phone me, whatever. Get hold of me, and I will give you the access code so you're able to access the lesson. It will only be for an hour, I believe. I think it's only scheduled for an hour, but it looks like really good fun. There'll be people from all over the world: Mexico, Canada, Kenya, Belgium, France, Switzerland, Italy, England, Japan. Lots of people from Sky all over the world will be training together. So I think it's going to be quite a magical experience. And if you are taking part, we'd really like you to take a photograph, or get one of your loved ones to take a photograph of you training whilst Akita Sensei is teaching. You're going to need to find some space, I'm sure, but he teaches in a tiny little corridor, half the size of my kitchen. So Sensei, if he can teach like that in his home, then I'm sure that we can all join him on Saturday and have a little bit of fun. So contact me for details, please. I'm not putting it on Facebook. It's not a public event. It's very much private for just Sky members. So if you want to know more information, please do let me know, and hopefully I'll see you on Thursday. So first of all, we'll just finish the lesson with a bow, us, and the dojo kun. Hitotsu jinkanku kansei ni soromoto koto. Hitotsu makato no michi o momoru koto. Hitotsu doryoko no seishin yashunao koto. Hitotsu regio o monjuro koto. Hitotsu kekki no yo imashimoru koto. And make us. And finish. Us. Emma, thank you very much for joining me in the your dojo and my dojo. And look after yourselves, please. Please take care, and see you on Thursday, hopefully. Us. See you later. Jamatane. Jamatane. Us. If I've not said hello, I'm so sorry. Let me just quickly do this because I don't like missing people out. Good evening, Joe. Good evening, Alex and Lee. Good evening, Jonathan. Yeah, you're in trouble sending me messages whilst you should be training. But I'm a nice car though. And good evening, Carl Sensei. Good evening, Andy King. Us. Good evening. How are you? Hope the boys are well. Yes, plenty for you to practice and for us all to practice. And very good, and some names that I don't recognise, so thank you for joining us. That's really kind of you. It's really nice to know which dojos you're from, so if you're from Brampton or from Witchford or from Joe's dojo, then let me know, because I love connecting with people. It's great. Thank you so much. Us, jamatane, jamatane. Oishima arigatou gozaimasu.